Okay, obviously you should know the parts of man and female reproductive tract, both models and slides. You should also know gametogenesis, as I said. And that's on page 18 under reproductive physiology, gametogenesis, the female cycle. And by that I mean, look at the bubble charts, which are over here. And you should know all of these cells are represented on the charts. You should know what the cells are called. You know what the cells are called. You should know if they're haploid or diploid. And if they're the human cells, which these are not, how many chromosomes do you normally see? In a normal body cell, which is diploid, what's a chromosome number in a normal human? 46. And what do we mean by diploid? Chromosomes in pairs. Doesn't matter if they're double or single stranded, don't make that mistake. It's whether or not the chromosomes are paired. If they are, it's diploid. If they're not, it's haploid. The gametes, the sperm and egg cells, which are haploid, develop from diploid cells. And the process involved, the type of nuclear division is meiosis. Meiosis reduces the chromosome number by 1/2. Most division in the body, in growth and repair that occurs throughout your lifetime, basically, the division is mitosis. And in mitosis, you maintain the chromosome number. You start with diploid cells, you have diploid daughter cells. And since you've got the same number and kind of chromosome as the dividing cell, the cells produced are identical. Okay? That's not the case in formation of gametes. The gametes are different from one another and from the dividing cell. All right, so on this side, spermatogenesis. Where does spermatogenesis occur? In human males. Where does it occur? You just saw it up here. First slide we looked at. Okay? In the walls, the seminiferous tubules. In the testes. So I'll ask you where does it occur? That's what I want. Walls of seminiferous tubules in the testes. Okay? Don't just say in the body of the male. Or don't just say in the testes. All right? I'd like to be more specific. That's where this is going on. Okay? Sperm then are released into the lumen and then spirited away through various tubes, the epididymis, ductus deferens, and eventually the prostatic urethra and out. Okay? We start up here with this cell, diploid. This is the precursor cell. It's called the spermatogonium. Typical human body cell, diploid. This divides by mitosis, produces two daughter cells, one of which becomes the primary spermatocyte, also diploid. Remember, mitosis, you maintain the chromosome, diploid to diploid. And another cell just becomes another one of these, so you never run out of spermatogonium. It's theoretically the male's producing sperm all his life, literally till the day he dies. Okay? Sperm production slows down. It may not be as good, the sperm, but they're still being produced. There's no male menopause per se, except up here. Okay? That's what we call middle-aged crazy. Anyway, the cell here, primary spermatocyte, undergoes meiosis 1. The two daughter cells are shown down here. They're secondary spermatocytes, and they are haploid. Because in meiosis 1, what happens is you divide the two chromosome pairs, homologous chromosomes, one from the other, move one to one pole, the other to other, they end up in new daughter cell nuclei. Okay, so these cells are haploid, the secondary spermatocytes, and from on down, all the cells are haploid. Okay? These cells then undergo meiosis 2 and produce daughter cells called spermatids, which are shown here, also haploid. In meiosis 2, what you're basically doing is splitting double-stranded chromosomes into single-stranded. You're not changing the chromosome number, haploid to haploid here. Okay, the last phase of spermatogenesis is right here, spermatid to sperm cell. What kind of nuclear division here? That's what you call a trick question. No, there is none. That's why it's 1 for 1. What happens in what we call spermiogenesis? Going from the spermatid to the sperm cell. 3 major things. You can see one of them right here, pretty prominent. Develop a flagellum, so the sperm is motile. Okay. What else? Shed excess cytoplasm, which is not obvious here because these are not to scale. And what else? Third thing. Formation of the aquasome, a little bag of digestive enzymes in the head of the sperm. So the sperm can literally digest its way through the protective barriers around the egg. Yes? Second one is shedding excess cytoplasm. So develop the flagellum, shedding excess cytoplasm, and formation of aquasome, bag of digestive. It's like a lysosome, bag of digestive enzymes, okay? And unfortunately, that's not showing it here either, all right? And notice, one spermatogonium, how many gametes normally? 4. Because you want lots of sperm by the millions. Okay? All right, this is oogenesis. Where does oogenesis occur in the body of the female? In the ovary, but where in the ovary? Within the follicles. Each follicle, you've got a developing egg cell. That's where oogenesis is going on, in a follicle, in the ovary. Again, we start with a precursor diploid cell, oogonium. This divides its nucleus by mitosis, produces this cell, and another cell, another oogonium basically, and it's mitosis, so diploid to diploid. Secondary, or the primary oocyte here, undergoes meiosis 1 and forms this and this. This cell, which is haploid, is the secondary oocyte, and the other cell is called what? A polar body. And again, this is not to scale. A polar body is tiny. A polar body is only a means of getting rid of excess chromosomes without wasting precious cytoplasm in the process. That's why cytokinesis, division of the cytoplasm, is unequal here. You want to keep most of the cytoplasm and the organelles associated with it with the egg, and not waste it on these polar bodies, which are going to degenerate anyway. Even though they may divide, okay, they're all going to degenerate. Okay, so this is the important cell, the secondary oocyte. This undergoes meiosis 2, and when it completes meiosis 2, it becomes an ovum, a mature egg. But it's only going to do that until what happens, or if what happens. It's got to have a sperm cell penetrate the cytoplasm. That stimulates an egg cell to complete meiosis 2, usually arrested in metaphase of meiosis 2, and become a mature ovum. And of course, chromosomes come together in the nucleus. Now we've got a diploid cell again, 2 haploid gametes, sperm and egg, and this is the zygote or fertilized egg. From now on, the division again is by mitosis. So diploid cells giving rise to diploid cells. Okay? And again, this is actually going to be in the oviduct, and as this cell passes down the oviduct and route to the uterus, it's starting to develop. So early embryonic development occurs not in the uterus, but in the oviduct. And that embryo is en route to the uterine cavity. Now, by the time it comes out in the uterine cavity, it's not a fertilized egg anymore. What is it? What stage is it in? So you know these stages. What's it called?